Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Esther
with Kurt Bjorklund.
The story's been told about a man who, when he was 7 years old, his family was forced from their home on a legal technicality. And at age 7, this young boy had to go to work to help support his family. At age 9, his mother died. At age 22, he lost his job as a store clerk. At age 23, he went into debt and became a partner in a small store. At age 26, his business partner died, leaving him with a huge debt and a business to run. At age 28, he was courting a girl for 4 years, but then she said no. At 37, on his third try, he was elected to Congress, but 2 years later, he failed to get reelected. At 41, his 4-year-old son died. At 45, he ran for Senate but lost. At 47, he failed as a vice presidential candidate. At 49, he ran for Senate again, and again he lost. And at 51, Abraham Lincoln was elected to be the President of the United States. Some people would say that he is one of the greatest leaders, if not the greatest leader our country has ever had. And some people might just simply say, well, some people get all the breaks. Well, in Esther chapter 2, Esther has handed a lot of hardship, and yet she chooses to put her head down and chase what God has for her in this situation. There is a message in Esther Ray Bakke writes about in his book, A Theology as Big in the City, where he talks about it. He said, let Esther's harem represent every unclean political and commercial institution or structure where evil reigns and must be confronted. Believers are needed there. Our cities are full of dens of iniquity. Our culture is described as essentially post-Christian, secular, and often antithetical to biblical values and hostile to biblical virtues. But Esther gives us permission to reflect on our call to serve God within the matrix of a modern secular system. How could God call Esther to be an interracial replacement spouse of a polygamous pagan Persian king? The book is off the screen for many evangelicals. We urban people need Esther more now than ever. Never allow it to be trivialized or spiritualized away as it has been so often. And what Bakke's saying is this, and that is to serve in secular government is a call of God. To serve in culture is a call of God. And we need to be very careful not to spiritualize the message of Esther in such a way as to miss the fact that this is part of how God worked. He took a young Jewish girl and he placed her in a very difficult situation, but he used her to deliver his people in a very substantial way. And my point with the Abraham Lincoln start is just this, and that is if Abraham Lincoln had said at some point, I don't feel called to government, it's been a rough road, then maybe he isn't there and he isn't the person that God uses to reverse slavery in the United States. If Esther doesn't say, okay, this isn't how I envision my life, but God has placed me here, how can I serve? Maybe God doesn't use her to save the Jewish people. Now, again, I believe God's sovereign. God brings his deliverance, his ends, whether we cooperate or not. But there's something beautiful about saying, God, I will put myself in a place to be used, even if the place that you've called me isn't necessarily pleasing to me, or this isn't going according to the script that I had envisioned for my own life. So I don't know where you are today. Maybe you're at the beginning of your adult life and thinking about where your vocation may take you. Maybe you're in the midst of a vocation and it feels pointless, or you aren't sure that it has great value. But today, can I just encourage you to see where you are as an appointment from God and ask yourself, how can I use this place to bring the reign of God to bear in the world in which I live?
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.